Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited about today's video because just a few days ago I was at Müggelturm and Teufelssee here in Berlin, and the fall colors were just incredible, with bright oranges, reds and yellows lighting up the forest. So of course I had to capture it. And today I'm going to show you how I edit my fall pictures to really bring out these colors in Lightroom. Yeah, so let's start and feel free to follow along. I'm going to put the raw down in the description for you to download. So if you want to edit exactly this picture with me, feel free to do that, and yeah, have fun with the video. Yes, so this is the picture. As you can see, that's the Müggelturm right here. That's the Teufelssee, and this is the big Müggelsee. It's all located in Treptow-Köpenick in Berlin. So it's still in the city, and as you can see already here, there's a lot of fall colors that are not quite there yet, but we're gonna make them pop. Alright, let's start with the basic adjustments. First, I'm increasing the exposure a bit to brighten the image, and adding a small amount of contrast as well to bring out the details. Next, I'm lowering the highlights to recover the details in the brighter areas. Let's go with, let's say 50. And boosting the shadows by quite a bit. To bring more information in the darker parts. I also slightly increase the whites and bring down the blacks to give the photo a bit more depth. Moving down to the color section, I'll keep the white balance as shot, but add a touch of vibrance to it. As you can see, it already increases the fall colors. So let's put it at, let's say 20. And add a bit of saturation, of course. But don't overdo it. It just looks cheap if you do it too much. Now the fun part, working with the colors. Fall photos really thrive with vibrant yellows and oranges. So let's get to the HSL slider. What I always do first is I test if there's, for example, the red HSL, if there's any red in the image by just using the slider. And if there's nothing in it, I just edit as is. But especially in the orange section, I think we're gonna see a lot more changing. So I really like the almost red pop of these, and I'm gonna increase the saturation a bit and probably increase the luminance as well. And for the yellows, I really want these to be more orange, all of this. So I'm gonna pull it to the left. And as you can see, it already changes. You don't have to overdo it, but just a slight more orange. And I'm gonna increase the saturation a bit as well. And yeah, increase the luminance as well. Especially if you're working with fall pictures, there's, depending on when you shot it, there's also a lot of greens. And to get rid of these greens, to make it more fall-like, I'm gonna decrease the hue and give these greens a more earthy green look. As you can see, if I increase it, it looks kind of fake. So I'm gonna decrease it a bit. Decrease the saturation as well. And let's see with the luminance. Yeah, I'm gonna decrease that as well. I forgot one thing, and that's the sizing, the crop. I can really recommend just edit for where you upload it. I'm just gonna upload it to Instagram, so I'm just gonna change the aspect ratio to 4:5. And yeah, do it like this when I'm happy with it. So I know what I'm working with. Now for the blues in the picture, I'm gonna decrease the saturation a bit. Increase luminance to give it a soft, hazy look. And I'm just gonna leave this here as is. What we can do now, after we are content with the colors, go to the temperature slider and just increase it a tiny bit. Don't overdo it, maybe just 3, but you can see already the difference it makes. Yeah, put it to 3. By the way, if you double click on any slider, it will reset to the normal amount. I'm just gonna put it to 3. Now for the curve, I think it looks a little bit bland and I'm gonna need to increase the contrast. So I'm gonna put some dots here and increase the contrast by just dragging this to the right a bit. As you can see, it darkened quite a bit. And now I'm gonna increase the highlights a bit again to really make those colors pop. You know the drill, I'm just gonna put a slight S-curve to all of the colors. Alright, I really like the way this looks. We can have a look at the original and the edit. It's not too much, but I think it looks really good. So now we're gonna go to my favorite part, which is masking. And we have a lot to do. First of all, I wanna lead the eye to the main subject, which is the tower here, the Müggelturm. And I'm gonna add a linear gradient. Press Shift and drag so it gets it's straight. And I'm just gonna decrease the exposure here. Right, so it leads the eye, because it's dark here, it leads the eye to the middle. And for the top part, I'm gonna also add a gradient. But this time around, I'm just gonna up the exposure to increase the hazy feel it has. And lower the contrast. And under the Effects tab, you can decrease the clarity and increase the, or decrease the dehaze. Maybe even. Yeah, I like the way that looks. We haven't touched the Effects tab yet, and I think it's a really powerful tool, so we're gonna head into that. And I don't know why, honestly, but I think it just looked the best. I just always decrease the clarity to about 10, 15, and then increase the texture by a few numbers, like 5, 6. I don't know why, it's just my personal preference. And I really like the way this looks now. Maybe even go further with the clarity. Let's go back to the color grading. For the shadows, I'm just gonna add a bit of a blue look. And just always play around with the settings. Yeah. And for the midtones, I'm gonna add a bit more orange. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Let's see. Yes, that's it. And I'm gonna just leave the highlights as is. Another cool thing that you can do with the masking tool is create a new mask around this size. increase the exposure a bit and the contrast. And now go or head over to the effects tab and increase the texture and clarity a bit. Yeah, this is just basically like a dodge and burn effect where everything else is not as clear as the main subject. Yeah, looking at it now, I think it looks really good. Yeah, and that's it. And here's our finished autumn image. So the next time you're out in the fall capturing the colors, yeah, try these editing steps and I think you'll really love the results. I hope this video helped you and inspired you to edit your own fall pics or just follow along with mine. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and stay creative.